A society to have order and to protect its citizens must have rules. Rules or laws are created and agencies are formed to enforce the rules. In the United States, you are innocent until proven guilty. Our judicial system, our courts, have the task of determining guilt. When guilt is found, the courts mete out the consequences. Join us now as we see an actual Lake County court in session.
Okay, hello everyone, I'm Judge Miller. Could everyone, including visitors, please raise your right hands? Do each of you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and this you do under the pains and penalty of perjury? Yes. Okay, you can put your hands down. Each of you has a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. When you get to the microphone, I need to know if you're under 18. I need to know if you're not a citizen of the United States because pleading today could affect your immigration status. I need to know if you're on probation or parole because if you plead today, it could affect your probation or parole status. If you plead, you're giving up your right to have a trial and to have an attorney represent you at that trial. Today we're being tape recorded and videotaped. If I sentence you on a criminal case, you need to go to the payment plan and sign up for the mandatory costs. The mandatory costs are in addition to whatever we do in here. I have nothing to do with those mandatory costs. Those are in addition to anything I do here. The least they can be is $273. If you have a battery case, the least they can be is closer to $700. Okay, in custody, we first have Tisha Bryant. All right, this is a violation of probation. Have you completed everything on probation? Okay.
This is Christine.
Hi, this is Judge Miller. We have Tisha Bryant here in the courtroom. She says she has not finished everything. Could you come in and make a recommendation on Tisha Bryant?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Tisha Bryant. Okay, and what's your recommendation?
The recommendation of the officer is that she be sentenced to an appropriate period of incarceration for this violation of probation.
And without information, how am I supposed to know what an appropriate period is? What has she not done? What was her charge?
Petty theft.
And what has she not done?
Conditions that were still outstanding at the time of this violation were her fine was $200.
She still owes $200.
She still owes the shoplifting program. Failed to pay her cost of supervision in the amount of $230.
So she did nothing.
Correct.
Okay. Did you know she had a new shoplifting?
The new shoplifting charge was part of the violation of probation if the shoplifting occurred on 3/25. That was part of her violation of probation.
Okay, Miss Bryan has a new charge. And it's not on this docket.
No.
Miss Bryan's case today is a theft, and she failed to appear on a theft from April. But today's is a violation of probation.
Yes.
So while she was on probation, she got the new theft and failed to appear, so now she's got the violation in. Did we find it? Okay, so if we could do BRYANT. Miss Bryant, you have the violation of probation for a theft. While you're on probation for this theft, you got another theft. At this point, it appears it would be 50 days in the Lake County Jail. I think maybe we should appoint the public defender to represent you. Here's part of the you found it?
Yes, it's on the 23rd.
Okay. Yes, it was going to be jail time anyway. How long have you been in jail now?
20 days.
So her probation's up.
Can I get probation again?
No, your probation time is up. It was a second, let's see, this one's a first degree, so I could put you on for a year. All right. If you enter a no contest plea to both the violation of probation and the newer theft, I would sentence you to, she's only in on the, she's in on both, okay. I would sentence you to 10 days concurrent on both, credit for 10 days. That means you'll have to pay $50 for each of those days. I will reinstate your probation and extend to 12 months, no early term. On the new case, I would put you on 12 months. Well, I don't know if the new one is a first or second, so it would be
I believe it's a first degree.
it would be 6 months concurrent probation on the new one. It would be on the new one, additional shoplifting class, no return to where the event took place, goodwill employment class, or proof of a job, restitution, if any, reserve right to a hearing. So you would get out of jail today, you would be back on probation, you would be on probation for at least another 6 months. You cannot get off. And if you violate again, I'm just going to do the maximum. It'll be up to a year in jail.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, let's start in the audience.
Ashanti Avant.
Ashanti Avant. You were charged with shoplifting. They say that they got everything back, so there's no restitution. You had a prior in 2009, so if you plead today, I would be finding you guilty. I would be putting you on 6 months probation. You can get off of probation as soon as you complete the shoplifting class, either provide proof of a full-time job or the goodwill employment class. You're not to return to the location, and a $200 fine.
Okay, guilty.
All right, did you hear everything? All right, we need to print her, and then she'll report to probation outside the double doors, and then to the payment plan.
Okay.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Next. Miss Annie, who will this be?
Yes, Your Honor. This is Mr. Jose David Altamirano.
Mr. Altamirando is charged with an expired driver's license. He had a prior in 2012. This will be 5 days in jail.
En el 2012 usted así que son 5 días de cárcel, señor.
5 días de cárcel.
Sí, señor.
And could you tell him if he gets another one, it will be 10 days? And if he gets one after that, it'll be 20?
Otro va a ser más tiempo de cárcel y si le dan otro va a ser hasta 20 días. ¿Está dispuesto a ir ahora?
¿Ahora?
Ahora mismo. 5 días.
5 días de cárcel. ¿Desde hoy corre?
¿Cómo?
¿Desde hoy corre, digo?
Desde hoy.
Pues sí, vamos a decir que no.
¿Cómo?
Vamos a decir que no.
¿No? Sí, va ahora.
¿Y no puede uno pagar?
There's no way that I can pay. Do I have to go right now?
There will still be money to pay because there are mandatory costs.
Hay costos obligatorios de compra que va a tener que pagar, así que de todas maneras la tengo que pagar.
And why can't he go right now?
¿Por qué no puedo ir ahora?
Porque tengo que trabajar.
Because I have to work.
Well, he's going to have to do the jail time no matter what, so who's delaying that going to
Tener que
make it better?
cumplir con cárcel, así que de todas maneras, señor. De una manera o la otra va a tener que cumplir.
Sí, está bien.
Was he arrested at the time?
Yes, Your Honor, he was. He was detained at about 1 in the afternoon, he indicated, and then was let out at about 9:30 at night.
So he has 1 day in.
Día de crédito.
Today is the second day.
Es el segundo día que le dan
So he would have 3 more days after today.
que cumplir 3 días más.
Okay, why is someone standing up behind you?
That's his son, Your Honor.
Come up with your. You speak English? Yeah, I do. Okay. So your dad has a decision to make. If he accepts the 5 days, I mean, today will count as 1. He has 3 more days to do after today. So today's Wednesday, so he has Thursday. He gets out. So he'll have to do Thursday, Friday. He gets out Saturday morning.
Sábado por la mañana saldría. Bien.
All right, and you'll call work for him and explain? All right, does he want to do that?
Usted quiere hacer esto, quiere cumplir, entonces va ahora mismo.
If he wants to say not guilty, he can talk to an attorney, he can have a trial. But if he's found guilty, he can be sentenced up to 2 months in jail.
Pero si dicen que es culpable, pues hasta puede tener que cumplir con 2 meses de cárcel.
¿Verdad? Mejor de una vez.
¿Listo?
Sí.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so anything in your pocket you can give to your son.
¿Qué cosa que usted quiere entregarle a su hijo?
He's remanded to custody for 5 days credit for any time he's done. And he needs to be printed. All right, next, come on up. Next, come on up.
person, please come out quickly.
Yes, ma'am? Thank you, son, for helping us.
My name is Mary Ambrose.
Mary who?
Ambrose.
Mary Ambrose, you're charged with driving with no license. Why don't you get a license?
Because I've been working a lot lately and I had to have
How old are you?
21. And every time I go,
And in all the years since you turned 16, you haven't had time to get a driver's license. All right, this time if you enter a no contest plea, I find you guilty. I'd put you on 6 months probation. You can get off of probation as soon as you pay $250. If you're caught driving again, that's what happens. 5 days in jail the first time. For the second time. So if you get caught driving again, it's going to be 5 days in jail. So I suggest either you give up driving or you get your license.
I give up driving.
All right, are you pleading no contest?
The probation, yeah. I'll take the probation.
Okay, Miss Angie, did you hear? All right, have a seat. We'll get you your paperwork as fast as we can. Next. Thank you for jumping right up. Yes, sir, your name?
Christopher Ash.
Mr. Christopher Ash, you're charged with driving while license suspended. Miss Angie, this says that he has a recent charge. The officer wrote on the ticket that he's had another charge recently. Okay, Mr. Ash, I think if you plead today, even if we don't find another one recently, I think this would habitualize you because you had 2 in 2012. So I think you should say not guilty and talk to an attorney. Because if you're habitualized, you lose your license for 5 years.
I've already got the notice. It's going to be on the 26th. I went to the DMV to get my license, and the lady told
Okay,
me-
I think you should talk to an attorney.
Okay.
Are you able to afford a private attorney, or do you need the public defender?
a public defender.
How much do you make a week?
I haven't been working.
Okay, then we'll appoint the public defender. Mr. Boone will explain to you how you make an appointment, and talk straight to your attorney. Explain about this other one you just had. You had 2 in 2012, and apparently you've had another one since, and then this one. Just talk to your attorney about it, and see if your attorney can help you get unhabitualized.
One was without knowledge, though. I didn't know.
Yes, but you must have paid it, and it wasn't a withhold, and that's why it still counts against you. Let me look it up.
And I have made some payments.
All right, you were suspended for not paying child support, for not
I got
having...
clearance for that.
What?
I got a clearance for that because
Yes, fine.
Okay.
For not having insurance and for not paying a ticket. That was this time. You had one in '06, and then you had 2 in 2012. They were both criminal. So it doesn't matter whether there was a... Could you double check me? They were both in Seminole County, and they both say DISQ, so they're both criminal. So it doesn't matter whether they withheld or not, it counts towards habitualizing you. All right, so you had those 2, and those were the last 2 that I knew about until this one, but the officer wrote that you had another one recently that hasn't shown up on your record yet. I don't know why they already habitualized you, but you need to talk to an attorney. All right, so we've appointed the public defender, and Mr. Boone will explain to you how to make an appointment. Come right up as soon as the podium's empty. We have 210 people today. Yes, ma'am.
This is my
my witness.
I need your name.
Oh, Sarah Boggs.
Sarah.
Sarah Boggs.
Sarah Boggs. Okay. Sarah Boggs. All right, Ms. Boggs, you were charged with a battery. If you enter a no contest plea today, I would put you on 12 months probation. You can get off of probation as soon as you complete a 29-week batter's intervention class. If you want to maintain your not guilty plea and have a trial with your witness, you can do so. I certainly hope he is not the alleged victim in this case.
He, what, the person standing next to me?
Yes?
Yes, he is, but we didn't come together. He's sitting over there. He met me here because he knows what's going on because I'm not.
Could you go stand over at the wall? The two of you are not allowed to have contact. All right, Mr. Victim, did you want to say something?
Yes, Your Honor. I would ask that you please remove the no contact order.
Well, that will not be granted today. No, there's to be no contact. You allegedly slapped him and threw the bottle of aloe on him. It's not the world's worst battery I've seen, but then your bond wasn't that. I didn't make your bond very high, right? Let me see what I did make it. I made it as low as it could go, $500, because it wasn't the most serious event we had. But there was still probable cause to believe you threw the aloe on him and then slapped him. That's not appropriate. And the officer, if this is the one I remember, said they went out there, they've been out there many times, and you all just need to get your act together. So, and you've been in trouble before, because I couldn't give you a PTI contract. Yes. Okay. So, you guys need to get your act together, and that is that you never touched investing custody. Okay, let me see what your history was.
Counsel wants to speak with you regarding bond hearings this morning.
All right, Ms. Boggs, this is your history. I was not too thrilled with your history. Okay. This says you had a battery in 2000. You had a battery last year also? And then it said, okay, this is March 21st. Well, you had some drug issues. You had theft issues. You had violation of probation. You had more drug issues. All right, DUI. Resisting. All right, that's enough. That's only halfway through. So, if you enter a no contest plea, it's 12 months probation. You can get off of probation as soon as you complete a 29-week batter's intervention class. The batter's intervention class, correct me if I misstate this, I only see one provider in the back, but, two providers. The batter's intervention class, I believe, includes drug education, alcohol education, as well as behavior modification. You can say not guilty if you want to and continue to fight the charge. That's okay. Could you go to the back? And you can leave, actually, because you can't have any contact with her. If a deputy sees you outside talking to her, she goes to jail with no bond. Come on, back up. All right, she's maintaining her not guilty plea, and the public defender is appointed, and it remains no contact. All right. Yes, sir?
William Beckett.
Baker?
Beckett, B-E-C-K-E-T-T.
William Beckett.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Beckett, who came with you today?
Johnny Austin, and Noah Beckett.
Are you raising your hand because you came with him? Yes. Come on up, please. And how do you know him?
I put an alternator on his car, and that's how the accident happened when I backed out.
Okay, how come I have another person up here?
I'm his son. I was in the truck with him.
Okay, let me get caught up here. We have Mr. Beckett and his son's name is? Noah Beckett?
Yes.
And then you are?
My name is Johnny Alston. I'm the neighbor.
Are you the neighbor who is the witness or the neighbor whose car got hit?
No, I'm the neighbor of the neighbor who he had talked to.
Okay, so why are you here today?
Okay, because I have documentation showing that the ticket that he has is incorrect.
All right, today is not the trial. In what way is this ticket incorrect? Did he not hit the vehicle allegedly?
Mr. Beckett has a ticket saying that he had left the scene of the accident.
This says you're the owner of the vehicle that sustained the damage.
No, okay, that right there is a letter from the owner of the vehicle that allegedly that Mr. Beckett had bumped into.
We're not going to deal with all of this today. We're going to enter a not guilty on his behalf. He doesn't need an attorney yet. We'll make a copy of this for the prosecutor to see. The prosecutor's going to have to talk to this person, talk to the police officer, and decide where to go from there. So could you scan this and give a copy to the prosecutor, please, and give them back a copy? So we're entering a not guilty on your behalf. I'm not appointing an attorney, and I don't think you need to get an attorney yet. We'll give a copy of this letter to the prosecutor, so when you come back next time, they have to decide if they want to go forward or not go forward.
Okay, I plead not guilty to it. Here's a pick of things. The police officers that told me up there when I wrote it out.
All right, stop.
That it would probably be dismissed.
Stop! We're going to let the prosecutor look at this and decide whether they want to go forward with the charges or not go forward with the charges, okay? I'm not comfortable sentencing you on it, and I don't have the authority to drop this charge today. All right, so we'll give you back a copy of the letter, and we'll send a copy to the prosecutor and give you a new court date. All right, next, please. Yes, ma'am, your name? Shabria Brown. Miss Brown, have you fixed your driver's license?
I'm in process of doing that now.
If I gave you a month, could you come in here with it fixed? 2 months?
Could you give me 45 days?
I'll give you 2 months.
Okay. Yes,
All right, this is Miss Shabria Brown. If you fix your driver's license over the next 2 months, we'll change this from a criminal charge to a civil charge. It'll just be a ticket. I'll withhold a finding of guilt. It will cost $210. As soon as you fix your license, everyone here with a driving while license suspended, listen, just in case it applies to you. If you fix your driver's license, you take your brand new driver's license to the traffic window, and they'll change this charge to a civil. It won't be criminal anymore. I'll withhold a finding of guilt, and then they'll give you 6 more months to pay the $210. But if it comes 2 months from now and you haven't fixed it, you have to be back here in front of me explaining why you disappointed me.
Yes.
Fair enough?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you get it? Okay, have a seat in the corner. There's one more seat left. Next. Yes, sir. Thank you for popping right up. Your name, please?
Martin Boswell.
Mr. Boswell. Philip Martin Boswell, you have 5 charges, so let's go over a little bit at a time. Your criminal charges are no motor vehicle registration and attaching a tag not assigned. You have no priors, and so I'm going to see if I can give you a little bit of help here, but I need to understand how this happened. Where did you get this vehicle? From a private person or from a dealer?
No, ma'am. I own 3 of the same vehicle. And I sold one to my girlfriend. And she took the wrong title and all the wrong paperwork to get everything done on it. And I have everything right here. I've got everything straightened out since then.
Okay,
But-
can I see all the paperwork, please?
Yes, ma'am. I also have the titles to my other 2 vehicles too.
Thank you. All right, this says at the time of the stop, you're driving a 1986 Nissan.
Yes, ma'am.
State Attorney's Office.
Hi, this is Judge Miller. Are they still in their meeting?
Excuse me?
Are they still in their meeting?
Yeah, they usually go till about 11. Another one?
Well, I just need some help on this one. And all the misdemeanor prosecutors are in it? Okay, if they get out, when they get out, could you have Miss Wright call me?
Will do.
Thank you.
4151?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
All right, I'm sorry I'm gonna have to put you till the end. You're welcome to go use the facilities, get a drink of water, whatever. I need the prosecutor to come down here and look at, spread it all out and look at each thing.
Okay.
If the prosecutor isn't here by the time I'm finished, then after I'm through with everyone else, we'll look everything up and get to the bottom of it.
Okay.
Yes, sir?
Michael Costello.
Have you fixed your driver's license?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have proof that Mr. Costello fixed it, or do I need to look?
Over right here.
All right, we'll change it from a criminal to a civil,
Okay.
and you'll have 6 months to pay $210, and I'll withhold the finding of guilt.
Okay.
His was an expired, it was expired, and I'm going to assume it was just an oops.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So we're gonna change it to a civil expired less than 6 months, and so it'll be, I think, $166? $163, 6 months to pay. with
Okay,
withhold.
thank you.
All right, thank you. Aaron, yes, your name? Corey Christoph. All right, Mr. Christoph, you're charged with not having a proper motorcycle endorsement.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you get one?
Yes, I've actually taken the first half of my class the day that I got pulled over, and yesterday I have proof here that I rescheduled for the second day. On this weekend, it's actually...
Okay, listen to me closely. Now, we're going to put this off for a month. You're going to waive speedy trial. We're going to continue it for a month. If during that month you bring proof that you've got your motorcycle endorsement, you don't have to come back and see me anymore. We're dismissing it altogether.
where do I bring my proof once
To the
I have
traffic window in the new building.
it? Okay.
So we'll dismiss it with proof that you have your endorsement. Good job.
Thank you.
How much did it cost? $250?
For the ticket?
No, to get your
Yeah,
endorsement.
$220.
$220, okay. Person that I said to wait till the end that we were going to hear from? Bob who? Boswell. Is Mr. Boswell here? Okay, Mr. Boswell, could you come up where I can see you, please? Okay, here's the deal. Mr. Boswell has like 3 practically identical vehicles, and he's telling me they just got the tags and registrations mixed up. And I'm a little overwhelmed with numbers today, and I just needed, if you could come down to look at the paperwork and see if you agree. And that's Mr. Boswell. So if you want to print something out before you come so you see the charges, that'd be good. Thank you. That sounds right. The case that you need to look up is 2014 CT 003286. Thanks, bye. Okay, they finished their meeting, so she's going to come down and look at your paperwork and compare what happened that day to see if we can make it go away. Shauna Dukes.
Shauna Dukes has her PTI contact outside.
Adriana Carlson. Okay, that's it. Thank you, Mr. Thompson.
For the record, that was Greg Thompson for the state of Florida.